As the moon hung low in the inky sky, I found myself navigating the winding, desolate road that cut through the heart of the dense forest. It was a night like any other, or so I thought. Little did I know that this journey would become a tale of terror I'd never forget. The car's engine hummed steadily, the soft vibrations serving as my only connection to reality. The forest was alive with eerie sounds, the rustling of leaves, the hoot of an owl, and the occasional howl of a distant wolf. I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease, as if the very woods were watching, waiting. My girlfriend Sarah sat beside me, her knuckles white as she clutched the armrest. "Babe, are you sure this is the right way?" she asked, her voice trembling. I glanced at the GPS, which stubbornly displayed a signal lost message. "I'm certain," I replied, though my own confidence was wavering. We were on our way to a secluded cabin for a weekend getaway, a place I'd never been before. The directions had seemed straightforward, but now I wasn't so sure. The forest canopy above seemed to close in on us, the branches forming an archway of darkness that the headlights barely penetrated. The road had become narrow, the path ahead uncertain. Suddenly, the car's headlights flickered, then went out completely. Panic surged through me as the engine sputtered and died. We were plunged into complete darkness, surrounded by the oppressive silence of the forest. I fumbled for my phone and switched on the flashlight. "It's okay," I reassured Sarah, my voice trembling. "I'll check the engine. Maybe it's just a loose wire." I stepped out of the car and popped the hood, but my flashlight revealed nothing out of the ordinary. My heart pounded as I realized we were stranded in the middle of nowhere. With no cell signal and no sign of civilization, we were truly alone. Returning to the car, I tried to remain calm. "We're in trouble," I admitted, my voice quivering. "There's no signal, and I can't figure out what's wrong with the car. We might have to wait until morning for help." Sarah's eyes widened with fear, and she clutched my arm. "But what if something comes for us in the night? This place feels wrong." I couldn't deny the eerie feeling that had settled over us. I locked the doors, leaving only a crack in the windows for fresh air. We huddled together in the darkness, the soft glow of my phone's flashlight casting eerie shadows on the car's interior. Time seemed to stretch on endlessly as we sat there, listening to the haunting sounds of the forest. Branches scratched against the car, and strange whispers seemed to drift through the night air. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. Hours passed, and fatigue began to take its toll. Sarah had fallen asleep, her head resting on my shoulder. I glanced at the clock on the dashboard. It was nearly 3 a.m. The darkness outside was unyielding, and the forest remained still, as if holding its breath. Suddenly, a distant, mournful wail echoed through the woods. It was a sound like nothing I had ever heard before, a chilling combination of sorrow and anger. I jolted upright, my heart racing. "What was that?" Sarah whispered, her eyes wide open. I shushed her and strained my ears, trying to locate the source of the sound. It came again, closer this time, and I realized it was the howl of some unknown creature. Fear gripped me as I realized that we were not alone in these woods. The minutes stretched into hours as we sat in terror, the sound of the howling growing nearer. It was as if the forest itself had come alive, and whatever lurked within it was drawing closer to our car. Finally, unable to bear the suspense any longer, I started the car again. The engine roared to life, and I wasted no time in hitting the gas pedal. The road ahead remained shrouded in darkness, but I had to get us out of there. As we sped through the night, the howling grew fainter, and the oppressive feeling that had settled over us began to lift. The forest gave way to open road, and the moon emerged from behind the clouds, casting its silvery glow over the landscape. Relief washed over us as we realized we were leaving the haunted forest behind. We drove until we reached the nearest town, where we were able to find help and a place to spend the rest of the night. To this day, I can't explain what happened in that forest, or what those haunting howls belonged to. All I know is that I'll never forget the terror of that night, and and the feeling that we were not alone in the darkness, that something malevolent lurked in the shadows, waiting for unsuspecting travelers to stray from the safety of the light.